What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Real Estate Talk with Mark Cannon. That's me. Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to the January 2023 market update. So we're going to be doing a screencast today where I'm going to share my screen. So that way you're not just having to look at my beautiful face and listen to my voice, but that you can actually just see the information that I'm talking about. I'm going to try to do this from time to time. That way I can share it with you. But before we get into it, if you guys could subscribe, if you guys could like the video, I would appreciate it. Share it with your friends, trying to be a resource for people, not trying to get famous here, but just trying to be a resource to help people know what's going on. So let's get into it. So I'm going to make my screen a little bit smaller. First things first, I'm going to let you guys know there is now a website that you can go to. I'm going to have a link for it in the email that I'm sending out, that you can check out. I'm going to be updating numbers every week. So right now, I don't have any numbers in there, but this whole website is going to be about the update. There's going to be information about me. There's going to be different things on here for my YouTube channel. So you can check this out every week if you want to see how the numbers change and what that looks like. So first things first, let's talk volume. So last month when we talked, we were sitting at around 17,700 homes on the market, I believe. So we've come down a little bit. I believe at the beginning of this week, we were at like 16,400. So we've come up a little bit right before the end of the week. But it's one of those that, we're sitting here in the middle of January. So now it's like, okay, we knew the holidays was going to slow everything down, which it did. And a lot of people say the holidays really don't end until almost the end of January. And we know that people list their homes come the spring. So, once we get closer to March, April, that's when people are going to be listing their homes. So that's one thing we're looking forward to. Hopefully the numbers going up, because an average market, again, a balanced market in Phoenix is 25,000 homes in the market. I think the closest we got was like 21,500 earlier this fall. So we've gone down a little bit, but the other reason we've gone down, I talked about this in my last video, is because people are going, okay, I have a 3% mortgage, 3.5% mortgage. Why would I sell and buy at a 6% rate right now? And it's one of those that I get it, and that's something that's hindering people from putting their houses on the market. We're seeing buyers slowly come back into the market right now, but we're just not seeing the sellers yet. And hopefully as the spring goes on and we get into everything after the Super Bowl, all this stuff, people start listing their homes. But that is something to be paying attention to. So we're going to talk about a couple different other things today. So we're going to talk about mortgage rates. We're going to talk about some inflation numbers, and then just some cool stats right here at the end. So let's just talk mortgage rates real quick. You guys can use Mortgage News Daily. I have it on my phone. It's an app. It's free. I just pay attention to what our mortgage is doing right now. So we're sitting at, as of Friday, we're sitting at just over 6%. We've been hovering about 6 to 6.5%, which is a good thing because people are starting to see steadiness in the mortgage market. So they're kind of understanding what's going on. And we're going to see, as we talk inflation numbers real quick, where people are saying numbers might come down next year. We'll see it to believe it. I need to see it to believe it, because right now we've been sitting around 6%. It's like, okay. And once we get into the fives, maybe people are going to be willing to buy more. So we'll have to see. But we'll just move me down real quick. So let's talk some inflation numbers. So 2022, can't talk today. We had really high inflation numbers. I'm not an expert in this by any means, okay? But I'm just going to show you just briefly. So you look right here, 9.1% in June, the highest we've had in decades, right? So that inflation rate's really high. We've been coming down. So that's a good thing. We want inflation to come down. The Fed has been raising rates, and I think they're raising them like 0.25% or a quarter point, quarter to half point right now. And they said they're going to continue to do that. They've already said that. They're going to continue to raise rates because they're trying to curb inflation. Now, should they jump them higher? Probably, but they're not going to. So it's one of those that they're going to slowly but surely lower the rates. Now, inflation we want is around 2%. That's the average. That's what their goal is right now, is get inflation down to 2%. So we still got a ways to go. We're still really high. But as we get into this coming summer, we're hoping inflation should be hopefully below 6%. We're hoping. We'll see. If the government decides to spend more money, we'll have to see about that. But it's one of those that, as inflation numbers come down, maybe that helps mortgage rates. Now, we're going to have to see. A lot of the experts right now are saying we're going to be in the 5% range, 5 to 6% range. That'd be a good thing. That'd be good to be balanced, to be controlled, and people might feel more comfortable coming back in, selling, and buying. That would be the hope. So I'm not going to focus too much on this. Now I'm going to get to a stat that I think is really cool. This is a website that somebody shared with me. Arizona was number 1 when it came to inbound states in 2022. So everybody was moving here. Now, South Carolina is number 2, place I moved from about 4 or 5 years ago. So I thought that was kind of funny. But the cool part about this, there are some stats here. Arizona's number one, Texas is number 5. I thought Texas would be number 1, but we're number 1 in 2022. And remember, we're not just talking the beginning of 2022 when things were still crazy. We're talking all of 2022. We were number 1 in the U.S. in where people are moving. We have a lot of businesses coming here. You have the microchip factories being built. We have one that's over halfway done up in Peoria, and then we have another one being built in Mesa. And there's other companies I've been reading that are moving their headquarters here. So lots of businesses are coming here. And so the stat makes sense. A lot of people are moving here, and they're moving out of other states. So let me back out of this real quick. So here's what the map looks like. So this is alliance.com. It's a migration map from the U.S. Census data. So cool thing is, I'm surprised New York isn't yellow. But so when we click on Arizona, it shows you these 3 cities. And so I'm just going to click on Phoenix. It shows you where people are moving from and where they're moving to. And then if I scroll up just a little bit, total inbound, pretty much almost 65% inbound, and we only have 35.5% outbound. So we have more people still coming in than we do have going out. So what does that mean for a real estate market? That means that the market's not going to crash like a lot of people have said it was. If we have more people moving in here, that means rentals are being rented because people are waiting to buy. They're waiting for the market to level out. And I think that's what's going to start happening here in 2023. So that's just something to be paying attention to. This was a cool website that I could share with you just to give you some data. But it's one of those, if you guys have questions about any of that, let me know. Be happy to share it with you. But really what that means is we have still a lot of people moving into this state. So if you're ready to buy and you're able to, let's have a conversation. Would love to be able to help you and talk. I got some big announcements coming up. I'm rebranding, doing a lot of different things. I'm going to be using the name Benchmark Real Estate moving forward, which is exciting. But I'll be doing more about that, videos to come. But guys, if you're able to buy and you're like, hey, I think here in the next 3-4 months, I'm getting ready. Don't push that off for 6-12 months. Let's have a conversation about it because it's all about your situation. I'm not one of those people that's going to say, just buy right now, sell right now. Like everybody's situation is different. So it's about having those conversations, making sure it's a smart move, making sure it's the right move. That's what you need to be going after. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. As always, you've been listening to The Real.